Hindutva is a very simple yet a very profound social, political, and philosophical construct. See, you must understand that Hinduism and all religions of Bharat, all spiritual and religious traditions that have taken birth in Bharat, are by their very nature non-exclusivist, non-proselytizing in some extent. And most importantly, they do not negate the validity of other religions as true. In that sense, Hinduism and the commonwealth of spiritual traditions that it represents is very different from other Abrahamic faiths like Islam and Christianity, because the primary agenda, primary belief of Islam and Christianity is that it alone is the true path and all other paths are false. That its God alone is the true God and that all other gods are false. Therefore, by implication, both Islam and Christianity ask its followers to convert the non-Muslims and the non-Christians into their respective faiths, because it's a divine ordained injunction on those followers, because their path is the only true path. This is a fundamental difference that we must keep in mind. So when these faiths came into India, through invasions or through trade or anything, and exposed themselves to the native traditions of this land, the natives of this country were very surprised to see that a religious tradition which was exclusivist, which did not give validity or legitimacy to another faith, exists, and that there were active conversion attempts that were being made through sword, through enticement, through all kinds of methods to get more number of people converted, the Hindus converted to that faith. So this essentially warranted and necessitated a very important social and political response by the native Indian traditions to save itself from the aggression from these foreign faiths. So in the course of this aggression, in the course of defending this aggression from foreign proselytizing, converting faiths, the whole idea of Hindutva came into being. So if Hinduism can be described as the potential energy of Hindu Dharma, Hindutva can be described as the kinetic form of Hindu Dharma, where a Hindu is aggressively is defending within all his might his right to live, his right to practice his religion and his spiritual traditions from the onslaught of these proselytizing exclusivist Abrahamic faiths. So this in essence is Hindutva. And why is Hindutva very essential and important to today's young people? The second part of your question. Like I mentioned earlier, at the cost of repetition, the philosophy of Hindutva stands firmly on the grounds of liberty, on the grounds of an individual having absolute freedom to determine to himself what is the right path that he must follow, whether it is spiritual or any otherwise. So the fundamental premise on Hindutva is the foundation of liberty, where each individual has the right to seek truth the way he wants and in the path that he wants. We believe, all our darshanakaras, all our philosophers have believed that truth is one, but the perspectives of truth and the ways to approach truth are many. So if we want in this world liberty of thought, expression, belief and faith to exist, if we must have the freedom to choose the gods that we want, if we must have the freedom to create new gods if we want, if we want the freedom to decide and decipher on to be a theist or to remain an atheist, to the foundation to either pray a god in form or to pray a god without form, or to not have any business whatsoever to do with religion, if you want to have all of these freedoms, both socially, politically, most importantly, religiously and philosophically, Hindutva as a philosophy must be protected. So for a modern, progressive, rational, scientific thinking young community, the foundations of Hindutva, which is based on reasoning than faith, which places more importance to the human mind and intellect and its reasoning power than blind faith or dogma. This is the need of the hour, and this is why Hindutva is so essential in today's modern day and age for young people.